a year. And that's about it. If we could introduce Mr. Darrel McMaster.
Thank you. I'll try to, I guess can I change this or move it? Or?
Yes.
Can you guys all hear me? Sure. I figure you can hear me either way, but they want to record this stuff. Anyway, my name's Darrel McMaster. I'm a custom home builder based out of Boerne, Texas. We build fully sustainable homes. I've been building homes about 33 years. My family's been building homes about 70 years. People ask a lot of times, what do you mean by sustainable? Well, what we do is we build houses that make and take everything that we can from the environment. Our houses run 100% on rainwater. They are grid-tied solar, but at the same time, we're still having all the amenities and everything that people expect in a custom home. So basically, that's what we do. We believe that that we can build houses today, and we've been able to do that for the last number of years across the hill country, where people can basically end up with zero to low utility costs. Zero is not really correct, because we end up with net metering agreements, and we end up with basically the power company charges us 20 to 25, depending on the locale, per month just for the right to have a meter. We have a 3,700 square foot model house that we run 100% on rainwater. We not only use it for all the domestic use in our homes, but we're also using it for irrigation. It's one of the first houses we've ever built a larger tank on just to irrigate. We've got over 110 plants on the property, plus close to 4,500 square feet of sod. And we're only using 205 and 210 gallons of water a day out of the rainwater tank. All the plants are drought tolerant and drought resistant. We have state-of-the-art drip irrigation, because rainwater means a lot to us. And we were really pretty concerned. You know, we've been running into the worst drought on record for the last 175 years up to a few days ago. And all of our tanks are full. On all of our customers' houses, we've been kind of keeping track of it. Some of them that do irrigate with their rainwater had shut some of their plants down. But anyway, for us, yes, sir.
What's your rainwater capacity?
Each house is different. On the one that's on the model is 40,000 gallons. Each house is a little bit different. Yes, ma'am.
Where's your model?
It is on Highway 46 between New Braunfels and 281. It's in a subdivision called Vintage Oaks. It's another thing we're having to deal with when we start to deal with solar panels and rain catchment tanks, and we've got to deal with homeowners associations that are basically open to what we have to do. In the state of Texas, they can't tell us no, but they can make it so pick and expensive that you basically say no on your own. So, but that's starting to change. We're starting to see developers who are starting to say, you know what, yeah, we need to be thinking this way. There's only so many straws that we can put in the drink that are out here in the hill country, and we've got to figure this out. And you know, it's just one of those things. For us, and the key to what we do is to be able to end up with a house that's the model house that we have is just under 3,700 square feet. Our total utility cost, water, sewer, gas, electric, is not even $50 a month. For the month of July, we have it's a model house. It's open 6 days a week, 6 hours a day. Every pick and light in the house is on, because that's what the realtors think they're supposed to have, which to me doesn't give a realistic estimation, because most people don't have the bathroom lights on for 6 hours a day. But my electric bill in July, and those of you who are here realize that July was a pretty hot month. We had down where we are, we had over 20 days, over 100 degrees. Our electrical bill was $4.43. So, yes, sir.
How much PV was that? Do you have batteries?
No, we do not have batteries. It's all a grid-tied system. It's 5.9 kilowatts.
5.9?
5.9. One of the keys to what we do is energy reduction, and we're going to go into that. The key to that is we can put, a lot of times people come because we install solar on other people's houses, and they will come to us and they'll say, hey, you know, can I put solar on my house, because they think it's sexy and that's the way to go. And we try to explain to them that conservation far exceeds creation. $30,000 in a PV array, I can get more for you by spending $10,000 reducing your electrical demand. And it's a better money return on investment. Like I said, we do install solar. There's a number of solar guys here. We don't think solar is the answer. We think conservation is, and that's the key to what we're doing with our houses. Is that we are reducing the electrical demand 65 to 70% going in. And how we do that is kind of like Colonel Sanders used to say, that's the 11 herbs and spices. We're just not handing that secret out yet. But one of the things that we really try to do is we start with design. For us, in all that we do, design is the key to it. We're starting with a lot of things that people consider new. They're really not new. This is stuff that our granddads and our great-granddads did all across the hill country for years. And that starts with orientation, the location. I keep turning away from this thing. Orientation of the house on the property. Where is it? How is it orientated? Cross ventilation. We're looking for which way the wind comes from. And here it's basically south by southeast. So we're being able to, when we design a house, we're trying to get it so we can cross ventilate the house. There's days on houses that we built. There's no reason to turn the air conditioning on. All we need to do is be able to open the windows so we can cross ventilate the entire house, which will cool the house down. We're also using a lot of passive solar stuff. We're using the minimum overhangs that we have are 2 to 3 feet. We're using patios. We're trying to not end up with direct sunlight that's going in. The other things that we do, we like to call them smart numbers. It's extremely important to us at the design stage that we're trying to make the house as functional as possible. A lot of times we get a set of plans from an architect who tries to, we don't think is working best for the client. Example being that he has a wall that's 32 6-inches long. But we try to tell the client, you know, that's really not a great number. We need to be at 32. Well, the architect says this. Well, he thinks he's Picasso and he's not buying the lumber. So what happens is that lumber comes in 2-foot lengths. So I've got to buy 34 feet of lumber. I get to cut it off, I get to throw it away, and I get to charge you for it. How much do you want that 6 inches? And so when people start to see that, and the same thing kind of applies with plywood, carpeting, drywall, whatever, if we can just start using smart orientation, smart numbers, and we're trying to design stuff. There's a number of, and architects, they do think they're Picasso. They've all got their own little idea and they want to be, but they just want you to pay for it. So there's a number of architects around that we really like. Again, here's what we're trying to do. This is a house, this is the model house. And so what we're trying to do is orientate the house. And at the same time, we're still trying to use, we will call this probably a hill country hacienda. I'll show it to you. What it has is a courtyard that comes on the inside of it, which has patios all around the inside, all across the back. But at the same time, when we designed this house, what we're looking for is cross ventilation so that we can take air for every bedroom so we can cross ventilate it. We're also at the design stage, we're setting it up for our PV array. We know we're trying to locate the house. We know how much kW that we're going to end up using. So we want to know going in, because we're using rainwater, we've already got a metal roof, so we can tack our solar right on top of the roof. So we don't end up with racking, which is reducing the cost. We're trying to do all these things that we can at the design stage so that when we get to that point, that it all works together is what we're trying to do. If you guys have any questions, now this is the back patio of that house. Again, what we're trying to do, let me go back to this. If you can see on this, there's only one wall that's facing west. So we've designed this house so that we only had one wall that's facing west. I'm sorry?
Point the direction.
Oh, I don't have it. North is down here on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that's a little small arrow. It's aimed. South is here, north is going this way. So it's here, this is due south. This is where our PV array is sitting right on top of here. This is west. So we only have basically one wall that's facing west, and we have closets along that wall. Yes, sir.
Was Laverne the architect?
No. To be honest with you, I designed this.
Oh, really?
And then I designed it, and then I took it to an architect. I had 2 architects and tried to explain it to them no matter how it came back. And these guys have been around for a long time, and they were green architects. And anyway, their green was kind of like Benjamin's, but Anyway, again, passive solar, this is something that we've done for years throughout the hill country. We've made use of porches. Not only does this block the direct sunlight going into the house, it gives us shade, it gives us an opportunity. These are all things that we're trying to do to eliminate our electrical demand. This is something that my grandfather taught me years ago. He said, okay, let's just get back to the smart number deal. He said, take a look at this. He said, 20 by 40 building, how many lineal feet will you got? Well, I got